going on, everyone? Garnet Walters here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Phrygian mode. But before I get into that, if this is your first time checking out this channel, thanks for taking the time to check it out. I really appreciate it. And if you want to subscribe, please press the subscribe button and press on the bell so you know when a new video comes out. And before I get into the video, I would like to say thank you. And I want to say thank you because a few days ago, we finally got over 100 subscribers. I'm really excited about that. I'm really grateful for your support. It really means a lot. Hoping that I'm making an impact on your musical journey. With that being said, let's get into the video. So today we're going to be talking about the Phrygian mode. So the Phrygian mode is based on the third scale degree. And as a review, the 7 modes in the major scale are Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. The Phrygian mode is a weird one because it has a lot of tension in it. And the reason why it has a lot of tension is because the Phrygian mode starts off with a half step. So if we were to break this down, our main scale, the major scale, is going to be C major. And in the videos before, we talked about putting the numbers to each scale degree. So C would be 1, D would be 2, E would be 3, F would be 4, G would be 5, A would be 6, B would be 7, and then we end up back at 1, which is C. So the third scale degree would be E. So when we play the Phrygian mode, it's just going from E to E, like this. So it would be E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and E. Another way that you can look at creating the Phrygian mode is to compare it to the E major scale. We discussed this in the previous videos. So the E major scale is E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Now, the formula to make the Phrygian mode would be 1, flat to 2, flat to 3, 4, 5, flat to 6, flat to 7, and back at 1. Again, the main characteristic of the Phrygian mode is that it starts off with a half step. Another characteristic of the Phrygian mode is that it has a lot of tension due to that half step. So I guess you're asking, how do we use this really strange mode? Well, here's a way you can use it. Well, personally, I like to use the Phrygian mode as a dominant chord, meaning I'm going to make it like a 5. So I would use a voicing like this. I would have E in my bass, and then in my right hand I'll play a 4th chord or quartal chords, or 4ths that are stacked on top of one another that are in the mode. So I'll have E in the bass, and I'm going to use the voicing F, B, and E. And then I'll add an A in there just for a little color. Before I get into that though, I talked about expanding in the other videos where I'll take the mode and I'll play every other note and expand it this way so I see what chords are in there. Now, there's a few things to notice. If you look at the first 3 notes when I expand that mode, it's a minor chord, it's an E minor chord. Now I can add the note D on the top of that, and then it becomes an E minor 7 chord. Now, what creates this weird tension, again, is having the F in there, and then the A and the C. So pretty much it's like a F major triad over an E minor 7 chord. So back to using this chord as a dominant chord. Now, I'm not saying that the Phrygian chord is the 5. I'm not saying that, but I'm going to make it function as a 5. So I'm going to go back to that voicing that I previously played. Now, I'm using this chord in this context because it has tension, because 5 chords generally have a tension. Now, we're going to get into that in a couple of weeks. So I can use this voicing here. Now, if I have E functioning as my 5, my 1 would be A. Now, keep in mind, again, it's functioning as a 5. It's not the 5. Right now, it's the 3rd scale degree. It's built on the 3rd scale degree, but I'm using it as a 5 temporarily. So I'll use this voicing here, and I can go to A major, or I can go to A minor, A major, A minor. A way that you can get this sound in your ear is having the E as a pedal tone in the left hand, and then you can just run the triads like this. Then you could add a 7th on there. Again, this sounds kind of cheesy, but it's about getting the sound and the feeling familiar to you and the vibe that you want to set. I also like to do the same thing with the stacked 4th chords or the quarter chords. Now, Chick Corea tends to use voicings like this, especially for the Phrygian. And what I'm doing there, I'm just playing the E minor pentatonic. And then playing it over that voicing like this. Notice I'm also varying the voicings where I have it either spread out like this or I'm playing it like close. Again, it's a matter of just getting the sound familiar, and you can experiment with the different ways that you can play those chords. So here's a quick recap. The Phrygian mode is the 3rd mode in the major scale. So if we have C major, it would be E. Now, the formula for the Phrygian mode will be 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. And that formula is based on if you compared it to the E major scale. If you made it to the end of this video, I'd like to give you a special shout out. Thank you so much for hanging out and for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. I also have my social media on my descriptions. And Again, if you have any questions, comments, and if you like the video, please press the like button. And again, thank you for over 100 subscribers, and I'm so glad that we're growing as a community. I'm glad that the channel is growing, and I'm looking forward to sharing more knowledge and learning from you as well. If you have any suggestions in terms of videos as well too, you can also put that in the comments also. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Happy practicing.